Hello and welcome to another episode of the Coding Break. I am your coding coach, Tam Talk, here to talk about all things related to the medical coding industry. So in today's episode, I want to talk about AI, artificial intelligence, and how it relates to healthcare, or to even go a little deeper or specific as it relates to medical coding. So for those of you who don't know, or for those of you who do know, I have completed my certification and training in AI for healthcare, medical billing, and coding. And so if you follow me on YouTube, you notice that I would briefly say how I was progressing through the course and what my thoughts were, or my perspectives were at that point. But I also wanted to say I wanted to bring it to completion before I actually give my full opinion or thought process on AI and medical billing and coding. Now that I am finished and have successfully passed, I now can share with you my true opinion or perspective on AI in healthcare. So here we go. So, as I mentioned before, AI is there to complement the roles of the medical coders and billers. And again, if you are already working in healthcare, you are already dabbling into artificial intelligence, hence the practice management systems, the automations. For example, like Epic, Cerner, all of that has some form of AI or artificial intelligence embedded in it. So what does that mean for us as coders? It just simply means we're going to have to evolve in our role as a coder. It's no longer the day-to-day typical look up the codes, diagnosis, procedures, and medical coding. We're going to have to enhance our skill set. And what I mean by that is, if you haven't taken the course through AAPC or any course as it relates to AI or artificial intelligence in healthcare, I would highly recommend that you do so. At least get some background or some historical information as it relates to that. Why? Because again, as AI is becoming more and more involved in healthcare, our roles are going to change. So some of the simple day-to-day tasks that we are actually performing in our roles will go to AI. That doesn't mean that we as humans or as medical coders will become extinct. No, we're not. It's just that it's going to cause us to stretch our skill set. It's going to cause us to stretch our experience. It's going to cause us to stretch our knowledge base. And if you're like me, I like to look at it in a way of just another job opportunity, right? Even if I want to pivot outside of healthcare, I have AI skills, right? AI skills that can be applied into other areas or other industries, such as technology. And of course, we see that technology is definitely on the rise. So that is just another skill set for you to have in the event that you decide, okay, you want to retire from medical coding or you want to retire from healthcare, then you're able to pivot into a different industry or into a different role. So yes, it does sound scary because it is causing us to stretch. It is causing us to change. It is causing us to slightly pivot out of our day-to-day norm as a medical coder. But it's a positive pivot. It is a positive change. And I'm, for one, I can attest, I am not one to easily change, or am I? Because when I pause and I look back, I have been evolving. I have been evolving in this industry. And so perhaps, maybe I should say, I change what I want to change, and the things that I don't want to change at that moment, or perhaps fear, it will stretch you. And so AI has stretched me. And the good thing about it is, because I've worked in AI already in healthcare, so it wasn't a big of a stretch. It's just really learning what it is. It's just like you meet someone, like, for example, if you how can I say, if you have friends, right? And they have a mutual friend that they would like for you to meet, but you've heard things or you heard gossip or rumor about that individual without actually meeting them, then you finally get a chance to meet them and you realize they're not as bad as perhaps someone else has said or how you had envisioned or perceived them to be. That's AI. That's artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is that person that you thought was bad because of the gossip or the rumors, but then when you actually got a chance or opportunity to meet AI is not as bad as you thought they were or as you thought it was. So that is really my perspective on AI and just really stretching. Also, another thing that you want to do is just really tap into other skill sets that you can apply. And I strongly recommend those in technology. If you're a social media, I would say host or influencer or content creator, really tap into that because not for the sake of the content. I mean, if that, hey, make your money. Also, if you look at it from a behind the scenes aspect, you're cultivating or generating skills, additional skills that you can use again in other areas. And being that a lot of the workforce or a lot of the work that we are doing is becoming like in the e-commerce or the online platform, these things sharpen your skills. These things provide experience. These things allow you to pivot, to evolve, to I don't say to never be unemployed. Even if you want to become a boss, hashtag girl boss, hashtag boy boss, you can do that because you have the experience, you have the skill set, you have the credentials to be anything you want to be when you grow up, or not. And I said, or not, because some of us like, I don't want to work no more. I'm trying to retire. I'm trying to be free. You can do that. And how can you do that? Because you have learned the skills, the power of automation to make your work or to create your work that will work for you when you're not involved. So yes, so that is really my perspective on artificial intelligence and AI and how it has impacted the medical coding industry. It's just, like I said, will AI be absolutely correct in its code selection? Maybe it will, maybe it won't. And that's where our role will come in because we've actually studied it. We've worked in it. We have experience in it. We're able to identify any errors or inefficiencies in AI and make that correction. And so that is another job title. That is another role. That is another skill set. So again, if you are, or if you haven't learned auditing, this, to me, I would recommend this would be the time that you do so, especially if you're trying to stay in the medical coding and medical billing industry, specifically medical coding, is to learn auditing. And I know that auditing has been one of those areas that many coders hate or they run away from because they think it is like very tedious, is very complex. And in all honesty, it is not. But if you haven't, and again, if you're planning to stay in the medical coding industry, I would say is pretty much a requirement at this point to learn how to audit. And you have the systems in place to help you, to make it easier on you to learn that. So yeah, so that's all that I have for this coding break. And yeah, so that's all that I have. So until next time, code on and stay blessed.